Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here, and this is another episode of Merch Corner where I talk about in real life partnerships that Dead by Daylight has with companies that can bring you merchandise that you can buy related to Dead by Daylight. And wow, what a week we have had here. There is so much to unpack. So within a week, we started out with at the end of last week, Dead by Daylight announcing that the deal to make Dead by Daylight Funko Pops had fallen through. We regret to inform you that due to circumstances beyond our control, our previously announced Dead by Daylight Funko Pop partnership will sadly not see the light of day, in which I made a video saying that this isn't on Dead by Daylight, this is on Funko, which I was met with little resistance. I think most of you believe me, but there were some people who are just, I guess, behavior haters who thought that Dead by Daylight must have messed it up in some way, and I had said no. I'm hearing rumblings that Funko is in financial trouble, and sure enough, this week they gave their fourth quarter financial statement comparing their fourth quarter from 2021 to the fourth quarter of 2022, and while their year-to-year sales for Funko only declined 1% from 2021 to 2022, at $330 million in sales, their profits decreased by negative 368% to make a $48 million loss. This was from their own investor call that they had, and they shared this statistic. So in the busiest holiday season, as I told y'all, they lost $48 million. And then they also revealed that the best way to get out of this financially is to put $30 million worth of Funkos into the landfill. The cheapest option for them is to throw this stuff away, not sell it to closeout stores, not even donate it, move it around logistically. The cheapest option is to just bury it, the likes of which we haven't seen since 1983, when Atari buried 700,000 video game cartridges worth $21 million, roughly, 40 years ago. This is akin to that. That the best financial option for them is a company that's trying to save every dollar is to throw away $30 million worth of product. So I'm beyond convinced that this is a Funko issue, not a behavior issue. Anyway, moving on. So let's talk about, so Dead by Daylight also said we're going to have a lot of, don't fret, we have plenty more exciting collaborations on the way. Well, do we ever. It started out this week, it was collab week. They made so many different announcements. Starting out with, this one isn't announced yet, but I expect it's going to be announced soon. Dead Sled Coffee is doing some teasers on their Instagram with these images here, which, I mean, it seems obvious that we're very close to the release of Dead by Daylight coffee and or tea. And I didn't even know this, but they had announced way back here in June of 2022 that they had signed a multi-year deal with Dead by Daylight. By the way, if you think that this is something you're going to want to buy, make sure that you sign up with your email and get that 15% off your first order here. It says, Dead Sled Coffee announces an exclusive collaboration with the hit asymmetrical video game Dead by Daylight. Dead Sled Coffee is proud to reveal it has signed a multi-year deal for an official Dead by Daylight collaboration, which will consist of multiple products, including proprietary coffee and tea lines. Dead Sled's Coffee's goal from the start has been to create the highest quality of craft coffee while teaming up with really cool partners and creating something unique and special. Upon investigating different avenues for future partnership, Dead by Daylight, known as the Hall of Fame of Horror, imposed itself as the perfect option. As soon as conversations started with Jean-Frédéric Vachon, head of the merchandising for Dead by Daylight, we realized that it was a perfect pairing, says Dead Sled co-owner Mike Thorwart. We both feel that merchandising possibilities are endless, which is extremely exciting. Dead Sled Coffee is distinguished quality coffee for the exceptional and unconventional. All right, I'm not going to read this whole thing. They've made coffee for Kiss, Rob Zombie, Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm not going to read this whole thing because it hasn't even been announced yet, but it's definitely close. So the next thing we went into was DXRacer releasing a Dead by Daylight themed chair here. Get hooked on our newest collab. Dead by Daylight crosses over with DXRacer. But look at all the embroidery on this chair. Now, I am very satisfied with the industrial workmanship of my Vertigear chair, but I'm not saying I couldn't be wooed. I could be wooed. Like, this thing looks incredible here. DXRacer Dead by Daylight edition here, and then it says, in partnership with Behavior Interactive, we are proud to release the DXRacer Craft Pro Dead by Daylight edition. As survivors, your goal is to work together to evade, escape, and most importantly, stay alive. The Dead by Daylight collection features the DXRacer Craft Series and lumbar pillows designed with the most iconic elements in-game for a better immersive experience. So, it says here, gamers immersed in the survival challenge will be able to recognize designs such as the generator icon, as well as the hindered and exposed status effects brought to life by the embroidery. So we got the exposed, hindered on the sides here, and then the generator on the lumbar pillow, it looks like. It's pretty impressive, the front and the back. Like, that's pretty cool looking. I don't know. Very neat. I think it's $500 US with free shipping, so you know, it's not for everybody, but boy, did it ever look cool. Very nice looking chair. All right, so then after that, we have a new clothing company here. Insert coin, our new collection is coming for you. We're very proud to announce the arrival of our exclusive Dead by Daylight collection. Don't miss out. Grab your favorites now, only at Insert Coin Clothing. This is a company in the UK, which I know a lot of people who shop the official shop feel like the shipping to the UK is very expensive, so this might be an alternate option here. And so they go through their stuff. They have the denim jacket, which comes with these enamel pins and the patch. I love the big logo on the back of the jacket. Like they said, you know, if you're going to represent all the way. And what do we got here? This is a zip-through hoodie with the generator repair, DBD generator repairs on the back. Here's another hoodie. This is an acid wash pullover hoodie with stitch and print detailing. Again, the big logo on the back. And then they have these t-shirts here for the Oni, and this one's for the Trapper, and long sleeve for the Huntress here. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's everything. But it looks amazing. Here's their website. There's also an option for first-time buyer. I think it prompted me for a code for 10% off for first-time buyers. These prices are all in Great Britain pounds here. $74 for the 74 pounds for the denim jacket, etc. So I'll leave the link in the description if you live in that area of the world. I don't know what it would cost you to ship to North America, but you can explore that. Make sure you get that code for the percentage off. So they keep on coming. The hits keep on coming. So what you're most likely here to read about is the movie deal. Atomic Monster and Blumhouse are teaming up with Behavior to bring Dead by Daylight out of the fog and onto the big screen. Learn more. So let's read Dead by Daylight's article about it. Behavior Interactive partners with Blumhouse and Atomic Monster for a Dead by Daylight movie. If I'd have told you we'd be here 7 years ago, would you have believed me? Unbelievable. It's official, a Dead by Daylight movie is coming. Behavior Interactive has teamed with Atomic Monster and Blumhouse to develop Dead by Daylight's feature film adaptation, which will bring the world of the entity to the big screen for the first time. We've always considered Dead by Daylight to be a celebration of the horror genre, on which Jason Blum and James Wan have made significant marks, and we truly couldn't be happier to announce this exciting partnership. We couldn't be more thrilled to work with Jason Blum and James Wan, two giants of the horror film industry, to further expand the Dead by Daylight universe, says Stephen Mulrooney, Executive Vice President and Behavior Interactive at Behavior Interactive. Atomic Monster and Blumhouse are the ideal partners to craft Dead by Daylight's killer entrance onto the big screen. In Dead by Daylight, the Behavior team has created a love letter to the world of horror, building an incredible environment teeming with atmosphere and terrifying villains, perfect for a scary cinematic adaptation, adds James Wan, Atomic Monster co-founder and CEO. We're big fans of the game at Atomic Monster and are thrilled to be teaming up with Blumhouse to bring this frighteningly visceral world to the big screen. The search for a director and screenwriter is underway, and James Blum is determined to find the perfect fit. There are so many fans of Dead by Daylight out there, and I think it's imperative that we find someone who appreciates and loves the world as much as we do to help us bring the game to the big screen, says Jason Blum, Blumhouse founder and CEO. We know our partners at Behavior and Atomic Monster will help us bring the best version of this game to life. Producers include James Wan, Jason Blum, and Stephen Mulrooney. Executive producers include Behavior Interactive's Remy Racine, Atomic Monsters, Michael Clear, and Judson Scott, and Blumhouse's Ryan Turek, and Stryker Entertainment's Russell Binder. Stay tuned for further updates and developments, and as always, see you in the fog. So Variety even covered this here with their own article about it. Variety is the news maker for, or news reporter for all of things going on in Hollywood. And their article doesn't say too much more, but I did want to cover a couple little things here. It says, Atomic Monster and Blumhouse are teaming up with Behavior Interactive, the largest Canadian gaming studio, to develop a feature film adaptation of the hit horror multiplayer game Dead by Daylight. Since its launch in 2016, Dead by Daylight has reached over 50 million players worldwide, with 2 million players stepping into the fog, the terrifying mist that players must make their way through in order to survive every day. Well, what about the killers? Killers do stuff too. All right, so then this is all the same part of the article, but then it does say here, just to give you an idea of who the people are involved in this. Wan, the director of The Conjuring and Insidious, and Blum, the producer of Get Out and The Purge, are natural fits for Dead by Daylight. The game features a vast universe of original gruesome killers such as the Nurse, the Wraith, the Hag, and more. And there's also classic movie villains and characters licensed from films like Halloween, Hellraiser, Nightmare on Elm Street, and more. One player takes on the role of killer while the others try to survive. Wan, Blum, and Stephen Mulrooney. Okay, so we read that part about the producers. And then it goes on to say, Blumhouse, Blum's company and the makers of Paranormal Activity and The Black Phone, are planning to merge with Wan's Atomic Monster, the company behind Malignant and Annabelle. The deal, announced last year, is anticipated to close sometime this summer. Also, last month, Blumhouse announced the launch of Blumhouse Games, a new subsidiary that will produce and publish indie budget video games for below $10 million. So I don't know. I wonder if Behavior would work on any of the Blumhouse games, or if they're going to do everything from scratch themselves. Also, I wonder, since Dead by Daylight is talking to Blumhouse, if they could get the more skins for Halloween. Because Blumhouse is the producer of the new Halloween movies. We could get those mature Laurie and Michael skins that we've always wanted. I don't know. But, you know, when James Wan and Jason Blum say they are a fan of our game, they aren't blowing smoke. It's true, because like 2 years ago, Jason Blum, 2021, announced he wanted to be a survivor in Dead by Daylight. I never forgot this tweet. So he's definitely a fan. He's somebody who appreciates our game, and I think that we're in good hands and he'll do it right. I do believe that Dead by Daylight is an incredibly difficult property to write a movie around, but, you know, I have confidence, or at least hope, that it could happen. Sure, are there a lot of also-rans in Hollywood where ideas get pitched and then they get tabled and never made, of course, but with the names that we have backing this project, I'm hoping that they'll be able to get something done here. I mean, if you look at like the FNAF movie that went through at least 3 scripts, 2 of which were made into different movies, with the Tra-La-La Terror with the Banana Splits, and then we had Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage. I think I believe those two were based on rejected FNAF scripts. So it's a process. This isn't something that's going to happen overnight. But yeah, it's very encouraging to just see the possibility that we could get a Dead by Daylight movie come out. Will it go to the theaters? Will it go to one of the streaming services? Who knows? With streaming so popular, I would not be surprised to see the movie get sold to, Amazon Prime or Netflix. With the backing of James Wan and Jason Blum, the names behind it, if it gets made, it's going to be a very take notice property, I would say. So don't think that we're going to get like A-lister actors in the movie because it's horror. So it's not going to be the top names. You're not going to get, Tom Cruise as the Trapper or Brie Larson as Meg or anything like that. It's just not going to happen. It might be like, hey, remember that secondary character from Game of Thrones, Missandei? She's playing Elodie or something like that. It's not going to be top name people, but doesn't matter, right? I just want to see whatever version they're able to present to us and do some justice to the game. I would love to see it. Also would love to see a cameo by Matthew Cote in the movie. What if he's somewhere and he says, I think we're doing a pretty good job so far, and then he gets killed? That would be hilarious. I think every Dead by Daylight fan would appreciate that moment. But who knows where we're going to go here. But wow, lots and lots of announcements. It was like announcement week before the new chapter comes out. We had this lull of a week and they just stuck all this stuff in here, and so many announcements that they couldn't even fit them all in. Like this Dead Sled Coffee deal has to be close to release because of those teasers on Dead Sled's Instagram. So, keep an eye out for that one too. But wow, what a week. What a week. Capped off by the movie. Incredible. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate all the time that you spend here with me on my channel. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.